the four major football conferences, how many spots have already been booked for their championship games? 6, 7? Zero. Zero spots have been booked already. So we're going to break them all down right now. We begin right here in Big 12 country. Texas Tech. They are off this week before closing at West Virginia. Who looks to be joining them right now in the conference title game, Mark?
Stoner, what do we know about the Big 12 title race?
That's crazy.
We know that anything can happen in the Big 12 race. We know that Texas Tech and BYU both control their own destiny. We know that 6 teams are mathematically still alive to go to the Big 12 championship.
Here we go.
BYU, they control their own destiny, but I know where we at.
Here we are.
We in the Natty. We here. BYU, they got to play in the NIL. So who gonna join them? So who knows?
So BYU has a nip slip tonight? They slip up in the nip?
You hear the people. I love the people.
So what does that mean?
So what does this mean?
What did you say?
So
we're
who
here.
joins them in the Big 12 title game? It could be anybody at this point. We don't know.
I saw Mark unbutton the jacket, and I was like, I know what's coming. I think I know he's going to go talk to the people. 6 are also alive in the ACC. Miami, they're the highest-ranked team, but they sit tied for 5th place in their standings. How does the ACC play out?
Gosh, I think when it's all said and done, I think Georgia Tech comes out on top. They have the best offense in this conference, but they also have the best player in this conference in Haynes King. And I hope he's up for every major offense award at the end of the season. He's put this team on his back. It's a big reason they're in this position. I love Brett Key. I love the toughness of this team. The defense isn't great, but I don't necessarily trust another team in this conference. I think they beat Pitt today. Doesn't matter what they do against Georgia next week, and they win the ACC championship and get in the college football playoff.
All right. Only third-ranked Texas A&M is unbeaten in the SEC play, and they are the only one in the conference who fully controls their own destiny. So who joins them in the playoffs?
Well, I think there's going to be a number of teams from the SEC. If you look at the rankings right now, if they started today, there'd be 5. And I think there's going to be 5 when it's all said and done. You mentioned A&M. They're undefeated, I think, based on how they finished out. They're probably still going to be in. Georgia's 11-1, 3 wins versus ranked opponents. They have a strong resume. You look at Bama, Ole Miss. I mean, these teams are on a bye week at this point, Mark. I mean, it's late in the season. The SEC just decides to take a nap. They get a week off. They're playing at a directional school.
Tough schedule.
I guess that's how it works in the SEC. But, Bama, Ole Miss, both have strong resumes based on how many teams they've beat that are ranked opponents. And then Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a team that's got 3 wins over ranked opponents. I think they're that 5th team that gets in. They're playing really good football defensively. Mateer looks like he's gotten healthier and better, too, after the thumb injury. So I think it's going to end up being 5 from the SEC this year.
Of course he gets healthy when they got to play Bama, of course. Like, he looks back to his normal self.
I mean, they actually have to play someone this week. Like they're one of the only teams in the SEC actually playing someone.
We'll talk more about SEC schedule a little bit later in the show. Unbeaten's Ohio State and Indiana seemingly on a Big Ten title game collision course. It feels like that kind of makes today's Oregon-USC game a playoff eliminator, Coach. You buying that?
It's an absolute elimination game for the Big Ten Conference. If USC, by the way, they're playing the best ball of the season, if they lose, they're obviously out. If Oregon loses, this is the problem. You could go from a 3-team Big Ten playoff from a 3-team to a 3-team, and Oregon could be out. You know why? Oregon does not have a win over a top 25 team. As it gets closer and closer to committee time, style points count, and then they start looking at that schedule. I'm not sure that happens. I still think they'll get in. But I'll tell you, if USC goes out there and beats Oregon, Oregon's in trouble.
Yeah. Agreed. We'll talk style points a little bit later on Big Noon Kickoff as well. Time now for Good Hands Report, sponsored by Allstate, celebrating 20 years of the Allstate Good Hands Nets program. And we welcome in, you got a fan base back there, Bear. Our college football savant, the Bear, Chris Felica. For the second straight week, Miami, they moved up multiple spots in the playoff rankings. And your biggest playoff committee issue involves your Canes.
It does, and it's the overall. Hunter Yurachek alluded to it the other night. They are comparing losses and ranking these teams based on quality losses. The first word out of his mouth the other night was, well, when you compare Miami and Notre Dame, you compare the losses. you're skipping over the fact that they played early in the year and Miami won the game. Look, I get what he's trying to say is that you don't want to penalize teams for playing these big non-conference games early. I am a fan of these games. I want them to continue, but if we get to a point where losing the game and taking the risk to play the game like outweighs winning the game, what are we doing? And these games probably won't continue. Look at how they rank like 9 through 13. Notre Dame's got the 2 quality losses against A&M and Miami. You go down then to 10 in Alabama, who's got 4 wins versus the committee top 25, and that is outweighed by the fact that they lost to Florida State week 1. BYU has the 1 loss to Texas Tech. Utah has 2 losses to Texas Tech and BYU. And then Miami lost to 2 teams that are top 30 teams in terms of the power ranking. And here's the logic of all of this. Miami lost to SMU in Louisville. One of those teams is going to win that game today, and all of a sudden next week, that's a quality loss for Miami as opposed to a bad loss. So it's ridiculous. Ultimately, I think if Miami does win, they're going to make the playoff. But just the way they're ranking these teams based on losses just doesn't seem right.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.